first headline is about Christian Romero, and apparently he will be completing his second part of his medical in Italy today, and then after that he'll be flying to London to complete his move to Tottenham Hotspur. The deal will be 50 million euros plus 5 million euros added on in bonuses. So Romero is going to be costing more than Varane and more than Ben White.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's an expensive deal, but I think it's one that we need to get done. We need to get him over the line. I don't think it's more than Ben White. Ben White was £50 million. So,
was it? Okay.
So he's 50 million euros.
So it's 47 million pounds.
Yeah, so
plus,
it's a bit cheaper than... no, I think that's including... I think 55 million euros
47.
Is 47. That's including bonuses. So it's about 43 million pounds plus bonuses.
Right.
So it's 7 million cheaper than Ben White. So that's a positive in that sense. But look, I think it's important we got him through the door. It's important we made sure we... got those extra few, paid those extra few million, even if it meant overspending a tad to get him in, because we clearly believed he's a player. We've scouted him and believed he's the one we've identified that can improve our back line, and he can be one that can make a big difference to our defence. And if that's the case, you make sure you get him in. You don't miss out on him for a few million. You get him through the door, because otherwise... It's another case of Tottenham not going for their main target because he's a bit too expensive and going for second-rate targets. And I'm glad that hopefully it's Paratici's influence that he's got into Levy's ear and said, look, we need this guy, even if it's going to cost an extra few million. This is a guy who's going to take us forward. This is a guy who's going to improve our defence. If you want to see us progress, we need to get in players. We need to start getting in our number one targets. And I think that's what Romero represents, I'm hoping.
And it does feel like this is a Paratici signing, because it was there for all to see. The players that we were being linked with just at the end of last season, before Paratici came in, before Nuno came in, was, our top defensive target was Joachim Andersen for about 20-25 million, know. And he's gone to Crystal Palace now. Paratici's come in, and we've got, Fabrizio Romano. I don't know if you saw that video he did on Romero about a week ago. The way he was explaining who Romero is and how good he is and blah, 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 it just made me even more excited. He was saying this guy is one of the biggest up-and-coming central defenders around Europe, and he's already a top star around Europe as well. So, I mean, for Spurs to get a signing through the door like this, whilst being in the Conference League, I think it's a massive step in the right direction. But on the flip side of that, he's not enough. He is not enough to revolutionise this defence. We need another centre-back partner with him, and we need a right-back or two if Aurier and Doherty are going to go. If Aurier is just going to go, I still don't think Tomiyasu and Doherty to go into the new season with those two as right-back. I don't think it's strong enough.
Me neither, but I think we're just going to have to accept it.
It's not strong enough, though, for what we're trying to do. If we're going to try and break into the top four, which I think is extremely unlikely this year, Tomiyasu and Doherty won't do that for us.
I agree, but I don't think Doherty's leaving. I know as much as they said if we get an offer for him, Nuno will sanction the deal. I just feel like, considering we signed him for 13 million and he's on a 4-year deal, I think he's going to stay. And from that, I think we're going to have to just get our head around it. Is going to be Tomiyasu and Doherty. I think that's going to be the scenario. That's my feeling anyway. I feel like that's going to be the scenario going into the season. Because I think Aurier, with 1 year left on his deal, the hierarchy are always going to let him go first before Doherty. That's just the reality of the situation. But you're right. I think Romero is a player who can be a leader in our back line, and that's what we needed. We need someone to take responsibility. We need someone to hold other people accountable. It'll be interesting to see if he does partner Eric Dyer, who takes more of a leadership role between the two, seeing as Dyer's a more senior centre-back. He's obviously been around the club for a long, long time. He knows the players. Dyer's not afraid to talk, to shout at players and whatnot. And he would presumably want a bit more of a leadership role. But Romero coming in as this superstar centre-back, 23 years, but he's younger. Would he maybe assume that role straight away? It'll be interesting to see how they work together if that's the partnership we're going for. And obviously, if he's partnered with Rodon, you would expect Romero to take more of a leadership role.
Yeah,
if he's
even though they're
Rodon.
around the same age.
Even though, but he's just had more top-level experience than Joe Rodon. But obviously, Rodon now with a year at Tottenham, he's had the big year. He had that great performance at the Euros as well. You could say he's got a bit more top-level experience, but still not as much as Romero, having won the Copa America and got Serie A Defender of the Year and stuff like that.
I would like to persist with Rodon and Romero, to be honest. I've had enough of Eric Dyer. I really have. I can't be asked to sit through another start of the season with Eric Dyer, and then 2-3 months into the season he gets dropped, and then everyone's like, oh, why is Eric Dyer here? Like, can we sell him already? And then it gets to the end of the season, there's all these rumours about Eric Dyer going, and then he gets a new lease of life at the start of the next season. Like, how many times has that happened?
Yeah, I has happened a few times, and I agree. I think Rodon's our future, and I think Dyer is a player who, when he's at his best, can be a good defender. But unfortunately, patience has run out with him for a lot of fans because he just doesn't seem to ever get rid of these mistakes in his game. They always seem to creep back. As much as he has good performances, they always seem to be marred with moments of stupidity, where he does something just absolutely ridiculous and it costs us. So I would like us to persist with Rodon and Romero if that's to be if those are the defenders we have at our disposal. The only thing is, we'd have to be patient.
Yeah,
would have to be
100%.
patient, and it's about the fan base being patient, because it's a very good possibility that first 3 months together.
If we have Dyer, we have to be patient as well, by the way.
I think you can expect a bit less patience with Dyer than Rodon and Romero, just because
we know the mistakes are coming.
First of all, that, and also he's 27, 28 now. It's time that you get to your peak of your game. We've been waiting around for you for a long time now to get to the top of your game, and I think you can expect less patience when Eric Dyer's making mistakes, but when Rodon and Romero are kind of either making mistakes or have lack of communication and stuff like that, positional wise, they're two 23-year-old centre-backs. They're going to make errors. They're going to need to learn from experiences. They're going to need to grow together as a partnership. And I think from that sense, we're going to have to allow them a few mistakes in the first 3 to 4, 5 months of if they're going to be playing together for a long time in the future, until they can learn together and learn each other's game. We were very lucky beforehand that Vertonghen and Alderweireld, when we had them, they had played with each other for years at Ajax. They knew each other's game inside out before they both joined Tottenham. It will be a very different scenario with Romero and Rodon. So that's the only thing I'd say. I would hope Tottenham fans can be patient with them if they really believe in them to be the partnership going forward. I just feel like for 2-3 months they're going to have a lot of positional errors and communication errors, and people are going to get sick of it, and they're not good enough and blah blah blah. But the reality is they're just young centre backs who need patience.
I think either way, talking about the whole team here, not just the defence, either way, we're going to have to be super patient this season, because I look at this season as a proper season of transition. This is a real season of transition. I think top 4 is out of our reach this season. I firmly believe that. And I think if we can get 5th or 6th and get Europa League qualification, I do think that's a good season for next season going into it. So it is a big year of transition. I think that we're going to have to be patient. We've got a lot of young talent coming to the club that's going to need time to bed in and what have you. So that's why as well I would like to just persist with Rodon and Romero to get their partnership on point if we're not going to bring in another centre-back.
Yeah, that's the future, I think. So I think that would be the best course of action if we don't. I think those are our 2 best defensive players. So I would agree. I would persist with them. But yeah, you're right. It's going to be transition. It's going to be a taking time, getting used to Nuno's system. We've already wasted so much time already this summer that we're already lagging behind. We've said that a number of times. So it's going to be a lot of transitioning this summer, this season, and I feel like the best we can hope for really is top 6 in a trophy. That would be the season that the best. That's like our ceiling, I reckon. Yeah. I don't think we're getting a better season than that. Reality is we'll probably only get one or the other. I don't even think we're going to get top 6 in a trophy, but that I think we can do that. That's compared to last season where minimum was top 4 in a trophy. That's obviously that's not in our reach anymore. And you can't even rely on winning Europa League to get in the Champions League, so we only have one shot at Champions League, which is top 4. So I think we're going to have to contend with probably another season after this without Champions League football.
And